Anywhere with CK and Anzo. Eat me wet with CK and Anzo. Let's go. From the States to the snow, we connect that glow. CK Anzo, watch the whole thing grow. 2 worlds, 1 show, tap in, let roll. Eat me wet with CK and Anzo.
I got a question, fellas. What would you do if you invited your neighbor over your house who is in love with your wife?
In love?
Yes, in love with your wife, and he tried to make advances on your wife in front of
In
you.
love? What do you mean by in love? Being in love is like you already had something and stuff like that.
Well, in any case, he was in love with you because he tried to fight me. And
You
this
like
video,
your wife.
this video is about the time that our neighbor in Dubai tried to fight me. Mind you, this was 2013, 2014 or 2013. And just in case you guys are wondering, we're both wearing sunglasses because we've both been doing coke all night. So,
Shut up. I never do no drugs. I hate drugs.
yeah, this is a
I
drug.
hate drugs. This one is the drugs against. He knows that very well. Even when it comes to weed, I'm against this shit. Like,
Yes, kids, we're joking. We're drug free, both of us. Uh, but in any case, we used to live in Dubai. If you don't know by now, I'm CK. This is Anzo, and we lived 5 years in Dubai. 5,
together.
yeah, together.
Me 16 years alone.
Right. So she was running the streets for 13 something years in Dubai, and then I showed up. But in any case, one night, we were drinking. Wasn't we drinking, sweetheart?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we were drinking,
Yeah.
and my wife thought it would be
No, so what happened is like our window is right next to the window of our neighbors, and they were working for the oil company. And I was always friend with them, with the guy who is outside of the window. So I'll go outside of the window, he'll be outside the window. We're just talking like, Russian to Russian. I mean, it's, it feels like a home, basically, for him or for me.
before we invited him over. I I noticed that like there'd be nights where we would leave our window open, and me and Anzo will engage in activities that couples do. Um, I can't really say it, but it sounds like this. I'm joking. But in any case, yeah, he would always be hanging out the window, and how our buildings were like at an angle. So our window was here, his window was there, and that's where I first
We
saw
would
him.
always say hello to each other and stuff like that. Like even when we're drinking or whatever, like they will be out their window, we'll be out our window, and just like friends, basically.
Right. Oh, one night you threw my clothes out the window, which we'll get to in another video, but that's for another day. But in any case, we invited our neighbor over in Dubai to come have drinks with us because we're very neighborly. Just like where we are now here in Georgia, we know our neighbors. Our neighbors are friendly, and we're friendly back to them. So we invited him over. I don't remember his name. I'm sure maybe you remember his name.
I don't.
Okay. Uh, but
Very funny.
in any case, uh, in Dubai, we spent many nights just hanging out at the house, having drinks, listening to music. And this night we decided to invite our neighbor over. Big fucking mistake. Uh, so what I remember is,
What I remember. Do you
yeah,
hear
you.
it? What I remember. Like he was so drunk that he cannot
I
remember it.
wasn't so drunk. I
Yes,
was.
that's why he's telling you what I remember. There is
I was
no
tipsy. I was a bit
no.
tipsy.
There is no remember. There is what I remember. Exactly.
Well,
Why I'm trying to say that is because he beat up a guy for no reason.
no, guys, I'm not a violent person. I'm a live and
Not
let
at
live
all.
type of person. You know, don't start no shit, won't be no shit. That's the kind of guy I am. But however, this night we invited our neighbor over,
hmm
and
And we beat him up.
what were we drinking? Were we drinking like Absolute? We wasn't drinking beer. We were
We
drinking.
were drinking whiskey.
Okay, so we were drinking whiskey. And what I remember is this: I'm just sitting on the bed chilling. We were listening to music. Everything was cool when he first came over. But then these two started communicating, and that KBG gulag talk,
KGB, not KBG.
whatever, KGB, yeah. So they were talking, and they were going on and on. I started to get a little annoyed, but I didn't say nothing. I was just chilling, and he even started to like tear up at some point. Like he started to like cry.
So we were talking about our families with him, and like he was telling me about his wife and his kids, and he started crying and whatever, and I felt bad and whatever. Basically, it was a talk about the families and go back to Russia and whatever. But he's not even from Russia; he was from Ukraine. So
Yeah, so they were talking back and forth, yada yada yada. I don't know what they're saying. Again, they're speaking that code language, and at some point he was sitting, and he started to. They were sitting like facing each other. And he started to touch my wife's leg.
again, let's go back again. We were talking about families and somebody crying and whatever, like he just grabbed my leg and telling me like, everything will be okay and, you know, moving his hand around my leg, telling me that everything will be okay, everything will this guy.
Guys, don't let no other man just touch on or feel on your woman. That's not cool. But he did it.
He went crazy.
No, I did not go crazy.
Yes, you did.
I did not go crazy. What happened was this: he touched her leg, and I kind of like was observing this, and then he did it again, and I was like, all right, man, quit,
Yet
don't
he
touch it.
don't understand what we're talking about
Right,
with
which
him.
was also kind of disrespectful because I don't speak uh gulag talk. Or,
Well, you should have asked the question first. Basically, he beat him up to death.
look, before we get into all that,
No, he
the
beat him.
second time he touched my wife's leg, I respectfully told him, "Look, don't touch my wife." And his words were me to this. He looked at me and he said, "You don't touch her. You
That's
don't
bull.
touch her." But he did
No,
it like in
no,
a aggressive,
no, no, no,
kind of
no.
like
That's
in a.
that's a bullshit right now.
Well, what do you remember from that night?
He never told you anything, and you
No, he
know you
did.
never gave him
He did.
chance.
He
No, you
did.
never gave him chance. You just
Guys,
started beating him up.
listen. I'm giving you the truth right now. He told me in like broken English, "You don't touch her." And at that point, I got annoyed because, mind you, I'm sitting there.
I
We
don't think
invited him
I
over.
don't think that guy meant that, because what happened is me and that guy was talking about family issues and whatever, like, somebody died and whatever. He didn't touch my leg on purpose just to, you know, just to have sex with me or something like that. He did it like that's what we do in Russia, like, touch your leg and do like that and saying like, everything will be okay.
Well, how the hell was I supposed to know? I'm just sitting there in the dark.
Well, don't you
And
do it in America? They do it in America as well. They touch you and do like, oh, everything will be okay. No,
yeah, they do that when they know you. But mind you, this was the first
he knew
time
me. So
he
you're
he,
inviting a person,
he
your
knew you.
neighbor.
Oh, this
So
is
you're
news.
inviting a person from the neighborhood, and you don't know them, but yet you're fucking saying, I don't know him. So why
What I
did you
mean is, I
invite him?
know him. I knew that he lived on the same floor as us. I didn't even know his name. I just recognized him as our neighbor. So I was being neighborly, and I invited the motherfucker
Neighborly,
over.
neighborly. So why did you invited him neighborly?
First off, I don't remember. I think maybe you invited him, because,
Okay, now you see that shit.
well,
You
it
see
don't
that shit.
matter
You see that shit.
who.
No, now it
Either
don't matter. No,
either
now it
me
don't. See
or
this
you invited
motherfucker
him
saying.
over. It doesn't matter. The fact is,
You
he came
see,
over and he
you see,
starts
you see.
crossing
He
the
is the
lines.
one who invited him, but now he's saying it doesn't matter.
I don't remember inviting him over. I really don't. And I'm being dishonest to God.
So he was so drunk, basically.
I was not so drunk.
So
He
how?
was drunk because he was in our house. Mind you, again, guys, this was a guy that
This is
never
a
came to our
normal thing.
house,
This is a
and he's in
normal.
our house and he's crying. This is
This
my
is a normal thing in Russia. You touch either leg or like a hand or whatever. You do like that and say like everything will be okay. This this MF went crazy about it.
I didn't go crazy.
Yes, you did.
And please let me know if I overreacted, but I think I reacted very uh appropriately for the moment,
Mm-hmm.
because
Appropriately
after
beat
they
up the
engaged
guy.
after they engaged in their their KBG dialogue, he touched my wife's leg once, like, not like sexually, but just touched it. And then
Exactly, not
but the
sexual.
second time, I felt that hand was just like lingering a little bit too long, and I said something. I said, "Hey man, don't touch my wife like that."
You see again? You see again? That was the problem. I thought, I think, and
No,
whatever.
no, you should have told him to don't put your hands on me, and then we wouldn't have gotten
This
into
is
a
a
fight.
normal thing in Russia when somebody's saying like my dad died or whatever, and they just touch your leg or touch your hand or touch your head, whatever. Like they say, I'm sorry for that, and they just like
Yeah, but I didn't get no apology. Matter of fact, what I got was some broken English, him saying, "You don't touch her." And once he said that to me, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got upset, but I wasn't like being aggressive. I just kind of like stood up and said, "Hey man, I think it's time for you to go. It's time for you to go." And when I stood up, mind you, this dude was at least, like, I'm not a tall guy. I'm below 6 feet. He was like 6'2".
he
This
wasn't 6'2".
this
He was like
motherfucker was,
5'10".
man, no, I'm 5'10". This motherfucker
He
was like
was
six
like
eight. But
5'11",
look,
maybe.
man, he was damn 7 feet tall. And once
You're
I
lying right now.
I'm not okay.
It
Look,
is a
look,
lie.
okay, he was about 6'2".
No, he wasn't. He was like,
He was
if you
over
were
6. He was
5'10", he
bigger
was
than
five.
me. But it
Okay,
doesn't matter. It don't
5'11".
it don't even matter. But what happened was this. I stood up and I said, "Hey man, it's time for you to go." But I wasn't like, "Hey, get the fuck out," or nothing like that. I was just saying, "Hey, it's time for you to go home." And this motherfucker stood up. When he stood up, he started taking his shirt off. Now, I don't know about you guys, but taking your shirt off, man to man, taking your shirt off is code for we fixing to throw down. So he removes his shirt and
Because he felt hot.
man, fuck all that shit. Who goes to somebody's house and take their clothes off? And we don't know him. This is the first time he's in our house.
But he is our neighbor. You invited
Man,
him.
yes, but that's something you don't
No,
do.
no,
I
no.
guess maybe they do that in Russia. Here in America, that
It's
I've never
okay in
seen that
Russia.
happen.
Exactly. It's okay in Russia, which he wasn't ready for.
Well, look, he took his shirt off, and I just swung on him. Cause I'm thinking, all right, I don't. This is my mindset. I don't really know you. I just know you as our neighbor. You're a bit drunk. You started crying at some point of the night. You're touching my wife's leg. I told you not to touch my wife's leg. You looked at me and said to me, you don't touch her. I don't know what the fuck that mean. And then when I ask you to leave, you get up and
He
you
is
take your
not
shirt off.
speaking a
No,
good.
fuck that.
He is not speaking good English. Our neighbor. So I don't think that's what he meant.
Well, by the time he removed his shirt and he had his shirt around his hands, I started swinging. Now, look, you can judge me. This was how many years ago? This is over a decade ago. So I was a young man. I was a hothead. And
13 years ago.
mm, 12, 13. Yeah, I guess so. But
He beat up that guy
I
to death. Like that guy was like absolutely death, laying on our floor. And this is the guy
blood all over the place.
this is the guy we're invited to our house.
Again, culturally, this is where cultures clash. She's saying that this is normal in her culture. I don't know. And in my neck of the woods, when there's some tension and a motherfucker take his shirt off, that means it's time to go. So in my
He just
mind,
took off his shirt because he felt hot. And
and
this guy
again
beat
though,
him up.
what? Okay, well, all right, let's flip the script. Say we invited a female guest over, and she felt hot. And she took off her top. Like, how would you feel about that?
Female will never take her top off.
They
So
may, they may
no,
feel
they
hot.
won't.
They may feel hot, sweetheart, and maybe have a bra on, but they may take their shirt off. And I know for sure
Don't take me on
you
that. Don't take me on that.
on what?
On female.
I'm just saying, you don't take your shirt off in another man's house. We're not cool. We don't have no history together. We're not homeboys. None of that. It's just our neighbor, and we invited him over for drinks, and
Yeah,
he's
but you
taking his
don't
shirt
go and
off.
beat him up to death. He went and beat him up to death. Literally
Look, it
beat
wasn't
him
to
up.
death. I might have hit this man maybe two,
No,
3 times.
no, that man
Uh,
was really in troubles, like in troubles, like that man was like in pain and all blood and whatever was
'Cause that's
coming
all
out.
it took. I got that. I got that Mayweather hook.
That's not funny.
All right, but look, I mean, we can laugh about it now, cause
No, we cannot laugh about it now
why not?
because you did the mistake. You
Okay,
beat
I
up somebody.
I, I shouldn't have beat him up. I should have told him, hey, look, man, hey, you want to take your shirt off? Cool, remove your pants too.
No, no, you should have told him, get out and
I
go home.
did. I told him. I said, look, it's time for you to go. I even said, look like you had too much to drink. Time for you to go. Because even though we were all
BS,
drinking, I
BS,
think maybe he
BS.
was deep off in his bottle more than I was. And I didn't say, hey, get the fuck out, or I didn't jump on the man. I just told the man to leave. And when he didn't leave and he stood up and took his shirt off, I just flew the fuck off. So I mean, that's just what I did. And I didn't beat him to death. I might have hit him 2 or 3 times. And okay, I
His
did.
face the next day was absolutely blue, was a lot of blood. This guy is working for the gas or whatever, like oil, And the next day I saw him, I actually went and I apologized to him.
No, no, this is how this happened. So this situation happened, and I remember. Uh, so I squabbled with him. He went down, and like there was blood out, like all over the floor and on some of the furniture. So Anzo got pissed, and she was like, "What are you doing? You're gonna go to jail. You can't do this here." And at the time, I wasn't worried about that. I was just like, this,
You were just drunk.
no, I was just like, this motherfucker need to get out of my house
No, you
before I
was
kill her.
drunk.
Because once he was on the ground, I didn't want to just
He was
stomp on him.
drunk as hell.
Well, uh,
Drunk as hell.
I remember you tried to
Drunk as hell.
like you went and got some stuff from the bathroom and tried to, like, I don't know, nurse him back to whatever the fuck, but uh he left. uh I don't really remember much after that fight, but I do remember the next morning uh we get a knock on the door, and it's him, and he came over and he apologized to both of us. He said, and I felt it was, he made a mistake, and I know, and he knew he made a mistake. That's why he came back the next morning to apologize. And he came in. I invited him in because he wasn't aggressive. He just like he came in. He was like, "I just want to say I'm sorry. I had too much to drink." And I do remember him saying something about he had to go fly to his country because if he showed up to his job with his face battered or whatever, that he can get in trouble for that. Is what I remember. She don't remember shit.
Yeah, of course. I do remember shit.
But in any case,
He just told me that he will stay home and he played like he had to go to his country and come back because of his broken face. But his face was really broken because this motherfucker
yeah,
broke his face.
when he came back in, I don't. I remember he apologized, and then whatever else he said, I do remember he sat down. He was a big, burly dude too, and he looked at me. He was like, "Oh, you have strong left hook."
Hmm. Do you feel better about yourself?
No, I mean, I don't care about that. It's just,
You don't
but this
care
is
about
just.
that? That's when you say that person is really bad because you
Oh, I'm
don't.
bad.
Yeah, because you don't
I'm
hit.
bad because a
Yeah,
man was touching my wife and I told him not to, and then he couldn't handle his
it's
liquor,
not
and
touching
then he
your
stood
wife.
up and took his shirt off, and then he realized he made a mistake by doing that. So that makes me bad. What should I have done? Oh, please put your shirt back on. Just go home,
You should
please.
have told him, just go home.
I did.
Well, when you cannot,
He didn't listen.
okay. Well, when you didn't listen, you should have opened the door and tell him, get out of here. That's it. Not beating up somebody in Dubai,
A
especially.
man that I did not know came in our home. I asked him to leave. He stood up and he took his fucking shirt off. That's what he did.
Right, that's what you do outside of fucking America
We
when
wasn't
you
even in. We
fight.
was in Dubai, so we're
Exactly,
both.
outside of America and outside of how you do it here. You should have just told him, here, the door is open, you need to go, man.
Yeah, but I didn't, and I handled it the way that.
Handled like what? Like disaster? Okay, let me ask you something.
Shoot.
You beat him up like you did. He called the police on you.
Okay, he didn't call the police.
No, but if he did, they called the police
I
on
tell
you.
him the truth. This motherfucker came in my house
Hold on, hold on,
and
hold
took his
on.
shirt off, and I whooped this
Police,
motherfucking
police,
ass.
police in Dubai does not care.
Well, then I would have went to jail.
Yeah, and you will go to the worst jail in
I would
Dubai.
be out in 30 days.
He will not be out in 30 days like he is saying. He will stay there at
90 days
least.
tops.
He will stay there at least 6 months for beating up
I
somebody.
get 3 hots in a cot.
I lived in Dubai 16 years, and I
Yeah,
know
Dubai
exactly.
jails are fucked up. Matter of fact, this is a quick story. Uh, Future, the rapper, has a DJ
Hmm.
who got arrested in Dubai. Uh, I'm sure if you DJ, I don't know his name, but whoever he is, his dad is friends with my dad. And when he was coming from Amsterdam to Dubai, and they found some joints in his luggage, and he spent like 59 days or 60 days in jail. Because you remember my dad called me. He said,
I
"Is there
know, and
anything I
he
can
got
do?"
deported.
Well, I mean, he spent that time in jail and he left. After that day, I didn't know what happened to him, but I told my dad on the phone, like, this is like, there's nothing I can do. He
I'm
just
just
need to go to the
saying, if
embassy or
that
call the
guy,
consulate or something.
thanks God, we in Russia grew up to that point that we don't call the police on anybody. If that guy called the police on him, he will be in the jail for at least 1 year.
Hey, it is what it is. I wouldn't. I don't know how else I should have handled that situation other
I'm
than
just
handling
saying that he will
handling
be.
it the way that I did. So
I'm
if I'm
just
wrong,
saying.
I'm wrong.
I'm just saying if that happened in Dubai and it was Arab and they all call police on him, he will be done. He will stay at least 1 year in the jail there, and then he will be deported as well.
Yeah, but I don't know. The police in Dubai are different than the police in the U.S.
No, yeah, they are
Don't you
different.
remember that night that we had a neighbor, like couple of houses down? They were playing some music, but at some point of the night, it sounded like a dude was beating the shit out of a woman. Like it sounded really like a disaster. Uh, and it sounded so bad. I was like, we sat there for a minute. We sat in the hallway for a minute, and then you were like, just call. I think either you called the police or whatever.
I call the
Yeah,
police.
you called the police. Police showed up there. I mean, it sounded like they were breaking shit, and some
Well,
woman
it's
was getting her ass
different.
whooped. Two
It's
cops
different.
showed up.
It's different. It's
They
different.
didn't do shit.
Those people were married and um they're Arabs, so they cannot do anything because woman going
Oh yeah,
crazy. Yeah,
they need
it's
like
a
five
different shit.
male witnesses and all that
Yeah, but
bullshit.
if American beat up Russian there, it will be another story. It will be like at least 1 year in the jail. And thanks God that guy never ever called on him.
Yeah, I mean it was cool. I mean, he came back over, he apologized, and really I didn't see much of him for like several months. We didn't see him, and then I think maybe a few times I saw him downstairs of our building, and he just said hello. I said hello. It was just cordial. So I mean,
What he
you
did
live
is
and you
wrong.
learn. So yeah, I'm always wrong.
What he did is wrong.
Yeah, but
You don't beat up a man for anything. Like you just tell
what?
them to leave your house.
And if they don't,
You never told them to leave the
I
house.
told him,
No,
sweetheart.
you did.
Yes, I did.
No, no,
You
you
just
didn't.
were too. I think maybe you liked the attention that he was giving you, and you were just felt like such a like. I think you were testing me. Like, let me see what this motherfucker would do if I don't. Let me just sit here and just let this man, kind of toy with me, and let me see if my man will stand up for me.
You were sick.
I'm not sick.
Bye.
Okay. Anyway, we're out.